Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Bells from the 19th hole, and I've got a tournament announcement for you here today. There's definitely been a lot of speculation over the past week as to what kind of tournament this will be. Will it be on a brand new course? Is it a mini? Is it a major? I can confirm one of those things. It is a brand new course, but it is not going to be a mini or a major. Maybe one of those will happen next month or maybe later in this year. It is a brand new course, though, which is pretty exciting. Always fun when we get brand new courses. The name of this tournament is going to be the dreaded Dunes course. So I'll give you one guess on what we could probably expect to see a lot of in this tournament. That's right, probably going to be a lot of sand in this tournament. It's going to start on Monday, October 28th, which is going to be the next Monday. So, 4 divisions. As always, you got Rookie, Pro, Expert, Masters. And, based off of what you are in your weekly league, that determines what you can play in the tournament. So let's just say I'm an expert weekly league player. I can play expert, pro, or rookie. Okay. If I'm expert, I can't play masters. So if you want to play masters, you got to bump yourself up to the masters weekly league, and then you can play any of the divisions. And I know what you're thinking. Well, if I'm expert, why would I play in rookie or pro? Well, you never know someone's situation. Maybe they don't have a lot of time. Maybe they don't have the funds to play it. But definitely keep in mind that even though you drop down and play lower level tournaments, the quality of players is still going to be equal to that of whatever weekly league you're in. So even if I play in the rookie as a weekly expert player, I'm still going to be matching up against weekly players, weekly expert players, you understand? So, it's not like I'm dropping down and I'm going to play nobodies and whoop everybody. No, you're going to be matched up against people that are close to your rating as far as the weekly league goes. As far as winning matches in tournaments go, you actually do win prize chests each time you win a match. And it's basically the same thing as when you win a prize chest in tour play. So in the rookie division, every time you win, you get a tour 3 chest. There is differences in these chests compared to the tour chests. The amount of club cards you get is a little bit higher in a tournament tour chest, so it's a little bit more of a bonus. Pro level, you get level 6, expert level 9, and then masters, you get level 12 chests. So it's definitely a little extra of a bonus to win these shootouts in these tournament matches to gain these chests. It can definitely help bolster your clubs. So these are the actual prizes for each division. This is what you win if you come in first place and win gold medal. And then they do kind of scale down from there in the weekend rounds down to up to 100th place, from 1 to 100. So the way the tournament works is on Monday is the first day of qualification. You actually have Monday, you got to play 9 holes, you got 24 hours to get it complete. If you qualify, awesome. You're done for a few days. If you don't qualify, or maybe you want to practice, you can practice on Monday, and then you have 2 other chances, Tuesday and Wednesday. Same exact thing. You got to pay your entry fee each time you try to qualify, and you have 24 hours to play the 9 holes. So definitely keep that in mind. Some people like to practice Monday and then qualify Tuesday, and then have Wednesday to kind of rest. Some people practice twice and then qualify Wednesday. It just depends on how lucky you think you are and how confident you are in your gameplay. If you make it through qualification, you get to play in the opening round, which in opening round you're going to play 18 holes and you're going to have 48 hours to play. So you get 2 days to play opening round, and that takes place on Thursday and Friday. If you can finish in the top half of your bracket in opening round, then you get to play in the weekend round, which takes place on Saturday and Sunday. Same rules, 18 holes, and you get 48 hours to play. I don't know what I was getting. 42. 24 plus 24. 48. Yeah, Mississippi math, my bad. All right. So, this is the rules that you have to abide by for each division. So in the rookie, pro, expert, and masters, they all have their own set of rules. As you can see, the wind will definitely vary depending on what division you play in. The higher you play, the higher the wind gets. Tee position, rookie plays from the first tee, pro expert play from the second tee, masters play from the third tee. Needle speed increases as you go into higher divisions, and then the hidden spin is only going to be affecting those playing in the expert and masters, which basically means you don't get to see the spin they put on the ball or their guide when they're up around the hole. The ball guide is not viewable. If you're playing in the rookie or the pro, though, you do get to see the spin and stuff like that. This is the whole layout for the tournament. As you can see, it's called the Dreaded Dunes, and you will be able to play these holes at each tee position, and that is very important. Very cool that you can play these at each tee position. You will not be able to play these until Thursday, which is going to be the 24th of October, which is actually a few days from now. Today is Tuesday for me. And you'll find them in the World Links Mountain and Voyager Tours, which are Tours 5, 8, and 11. I kind of wish they would have made that Tour 5, Tour 4, so we could play each other in friendlies. A lot more fun when you're playing against your friends and kind of discovering new things. But it is what it is. Tours 5, 8, and 11, at least each tee box gets to practice the tournament. So that's the way it is. So now I'm going to actually turn off the video. We're going to go and take a look at these holes, a little bit closer of a look. Now before I do this, I definitely want to explain. I have not played these holes. So everything past this point is kind of just speculation and brainstorming. We don't know elevations. We don't know what kind of the contour of the course is going to be. The fairway is going to be hilly. We do not know that. So a lot of this is just going to kind of be just seeing it and kind of just, in your mind, kind of just imagining what possibilities there may be to play in these holes. And the good thing about brainstorming like this is it actually can help you go into practicing with a game plan. So that's what we're going to do here. So let me turn off my video, and then we will check out what we have here. So moving on here, we got hole number 1, and as you can see, it's a par 4. I definitely apologize for the quality of these pictures, but this was pulled just right off the announcement. We don't have the good pictures yet for this, but we will hopefully by the time we get farther into the week. But anyways, this is a par 4, hole number 1, and to me, it really looks like, the best way to play this hole is going to be somewhere up into this zone right here. If you want to try to get your ball up into the fairway section right there, we're looking at maybe an extra mile or maybe even like a quarterback shot there. It's really tough to tell because we don't know the particular yardages on these holes, so that's kind of tough to tell. But it's definitely going to probably be some right spin and top spin to get the ball up over that bunker into that area in the fairway. From there, it looks like, I would say it's probably going to be a min-range long iron or a short iron shot to the hole. We do not know whether or not this green is going to be raised or it's going to be flat or what. We can just kind of assume, and kind of estimate what we're looking at here. So to me, to the right-hand side, it looks like it's going to be the best way to play. Possibly could go to the left-hand side. I don't know, if there's going to be a big advantage going left here. It's hard to tell how far we can get up in this fairway. But just looking at it, you'd have to get pretty far up in the fairway to have a good shot at this green, because otherwise you got this, looks like some rough and bunker in the way. So if anything back in this area right here would be a little bit tougher. So you could possibly play a little bit of a rough bump off that that rough right here. There could possibly be a rough bump opportunity right there with like a Goliath or something. Always try to keep in mind the rough bump possibilities. So that's definitely what we're looking at here. I would not expect this course to have a whole ton of elevation. Although, if you've ever seen pictures of dunes, they actually do have a lot of hilly elevation. So, there may be some elevation, but I wouldn't expect like large numbers, like high percentages. So that's one. Hole number 2 here, and I can't make it any bigger here, so we'll just have to look at it this way. Yep. Hole number 2 here is par 3, and looks like, it's hard to tell how much rough is right there for any kind of a rough bump, but from the second tees, it's looking like a shot to, maybe this area right here, and try to run it up there, maybe with a sniper. And then for the rookies, it's looking like a shot off this pad right here, and over the bunker towards the green as well, maybe with like a backbone or something like that. And so I'm going to assume from the second tee it's going to be a wood, from the first tee it's going to be a long iron. Alright, so we got hole 3 here. This is a par 5. The thing about playing in the dunes is, like I said, elevations in sand dunes are usually pretty up and down. So it's really hard to look at this picture and completely know what we're looking at here. This could be like a hill, this could be a downward or upward slope, this could be an upward or downward slope. So it's really kind of hard to predict the way to play these holes without actually knowing that information. I will say this looks like a fairly long hole, so you're probably going to need like your big dog for your second shot, or cataclysm from higher level tees. And hopefully we can land our shots up into this area right here, or even this area on the fairway here. But it's just really tough to tell without knowing the actual distances on these holes. So let's just say, for conversation's sake, that we can reach these areas on the fairway. It's looking like definitely big dog type stuff right here to reach over these fairways and hills, roughs, whatever it is, to get to the green. It's definitely, like on the left hand side, looking like a long wood shot with right curl, top spin, and right spin to get the ball towards the green that way. So just off the bat, looking at this hole, to me it looks like playing it to the right hand side is definitely going to be the way to go. This rough right here is very interesting. I think it's a little bit too far away from the green to try to considering kind of a rough bump right there, though. I think it's just going to be one of those rough patches that just gets in the way of a shot. So it's going to require you to play either left of it or right of it, and then add a little bit of spin or curl to the shot to get to the hole. So that's hole 3. We'll know a lot more Thursday when we actually get to see it. But if I was a betting man, I would definitely bet that there's going to be some crazy elevations on this hole right here. It just looks like, I don't know, it just has that look that there's going to be some odd stuff on this hole. Alright, hole number 4 is another par 3. And this one right here from the first tee, it's going to probably be a long iron shot in here with some left spin, maybe back spin, to try to guide that shot to the hole. From the second tee, you're probably going to have to be playing a bump shot off here. Possibly, maybe a sand bump opportunity here on this hole. It's hard to tell, but I know a lot of people do like to try to play that sand bump with a full topspin in a high topspin club. And that's definitely something to think about here as well. But definitely the hop off the island and then maybe like a guardian backspin shot towards the green from the green edge would be a good way to play this hole. I really like ball guides though, so for me, I always try to find a hole like this to play with a club that has a good ball guide. So we'll have to wait and see. Hole number 5 is par 4. This one right here, it's kind of like a sneaky hole because they give you this right side fairway, but as you can see, that right side fairway is so narrow. And then they give you this huge landing point to the left hand side. So they're almost like daring you to go to the right hand side, but they're saying just come left, it's much easier. The only thing about going left is if you go left, your next shot's going to be over this bunker and landing it somewhere in this area right here, which is going to require you to use a lot of backspin to try to go at this hole. And we have no idea what the elevation is going to be like slope wise around that green. That shot could be landing to a fairway that has a slanted elevation, so that would cause the ball to jump up really weird and have a crazy type of bounce to it. I think that the way to play this hole is actually going to be to the right hand side. I don't think we're going to try to get too far up into that gap. We're just going to get far enough to be there, and then that's going to give us more of a straighter line shot to the hole with a lot more fairway to work with and try to find a flatter spot for that shot. For a second shot, two of the things you always look for in a second shot in landing position is consistent bounces. So on a shot like this, where you're really trying to get a good consistent bounce to really dial in that eagle, trying to find an area with a larger amount of fairway is always going to increase your chances of finding a better spot to hit. So that's par 5. That's par 4, and that's hole 5. Hole number 6 is a par 5, and just to be honest, it looks like another really long par 5. These bunkers in this area right here are very interesting because it's a very narrow fairway right there to hit. and then they give you this area over here to the left hand side, which is probably going to be some sort of like a jump shot, skip shot over to it. I think that that's probably going to be the way. Either that or possibly maybe just laying up your shot right in here. So that's kind of like what it's looking like to me is going to be the way to play this hole. Is either go to the left or try to lay your shot up into this area right here. And now from there, it gets interesting. This is probably going to be a hole that requires a power ball for sure. From there, it's looking again like another long club, like a big dog or cataclysm type shot, where you're going to land here with right spin and try to kind of over this bunker right here towards the green. From this right hand side, you know, it's hard to tell what is going to be possible. If it's going to be a shot that has a skip with a lot of topspin, or it's going to be a shot that you can actually carry this here and then try to use some left spin and topspin towards the green and with a little bit of curl. That's really tough to tell, but we will definitely find out. This hole looks a little bit flatter than maybe some of the other holes that we have seen so far as we've been looking at these holes. Hole number 7 is a par 3. This would be the third par 3. And once again, it's hard to tell whether or not this is an elevated green with a sloped fairway in front of it. I kind of have a feeling like they're going to be doing sloped fairways in front of greens here just to kind of throw off those bounces of the shots. Looks like there's some rough right there. So definitely possibly some sort of a rough bump would be possible in the rookie. The expert and master tees are quite far back, so maybe that similar rough bump with a driver, like a quarterback or something like that, would be possible. But I don't know. You can also see to this right side, there's a little bit area right here to bounce a shot off of, and there's also a little bit area to the left-hand side to kind of bounce a shot off of toward the green. It's definitely going to depend on the slopes of those landing zones and, you know, consistent bounce places. We're going to go back to that talk about consistent landing zones. You want to find someone that's consistent to land so that you can kind of work on dialing the shot in. So this is a very interesting hole, and when I see this hole, I see a lot of sand. There is going to be a lot of people hitting bunkers here. Behind the green kind of looks like it may drop off to that bunker. So this is going to be a hole where you don't want to get too aggressive, but then you don't want to be too gentle on your shot because you want to probably make it up to the hole. Hole number 8 here. Let's see. This is an interesting looking hole. They definitely outdid themselves with the amount of sand they used here for sure. Looks like you can play this one 2 different ways. Again, like I said, it's tough to tell judgment-wise because we don't know the distances for these holes. But you know, something up into this area right here, either skipping over or, you know, flying over that rough. To the right side here, I am seeing either a shot where you skip it off here and up the fairway here, or to the right here where you skip it off this fairway and over and onto the fairway here. If I had to just guess, I'm going to say playing it to the right side here is going to be the best way to go, and trying to get it in somewhere in this zone right here. From there, it looks like you're going to have a pretty straight on shot to the hole. From this left here, you're probably a straight on shot to the hole. From the far left here, it's going to be a little bit farther. But if I had to guess, my money is going to be on this path right there. This one right here is going to be my money. Somewhere in there. That's going to be what I'm looking at. But it could be different. You could also play a shot to, you know, this area right here with a little bit of left curl, and then kind of curl it over. So, you know, a little bit bigger of a fairway section. It'd be interesting to see what this bunker looks like and how that comes into play on a shot like that as well. All right. Last hole, hole number 9, par 5. This par 5 doesn't look as long as some of the other ones, just from looking at this picture. But again, we don't have the yardages, so we don't know precisely how long these holes are. But just from looking at this picture and the design, it looks like this one's a little bit shorter. You have options, it looks like, to play it either way, to the left or to the right. You know, you have a narrow fairway right here for these shots. But then if you want to play it to the right-hand side, to me, it's looking like a topspin and right spin shot with a little bit of curl to try to get it up this fairway, maybe even farther up that fairway. So maybe some sort of a hook curl shot will be possible. From this first tee, it looks like you could probably throw on like a power 5 ball and just completely go over this right here, with some backspin or something like that, and end up here. That looks like a possibility from the first tee. But from these spots right here and right here, the second shot on the left side definitely looks a lot tougher. You're going to definitely have to use some right curl and right spin and maybe a little bit of side or back spin to back that one into the hole. This one right here looks like a fairway that may have a huge slope on it, just kind of looking at the way they have that laid out. To me, the way to play this hole is probably going to be from the right side. So either from this area, and going straight over into the hole. I'm going to guess probably short to max long iron second shot to the hole. Although it's a par 5, so it's hard to assume that they're going to let you get to the hole with a long iron in 2 shots. So we'll have to wait and see. That long iron could turn into a wood club for sure. But definitely looks like a very interesting course. I think this they may have outdone themselves here on this one, but we'll have to wait and see. Thursday will be when it's available. Tours 5, 8, and 11. So wake up Thursday, get in there, practice the holes, see what you can do. All right, y'all, thank you very much here. Don't know that that's going to be much help to you. If anything, maybe it just kind of gets your mind a turning and working on kind of a game plan, how to attack these holes during practice. It's always better to kind of have a little bit of visualization as to what you are going to try to do than to just go in blind and hope for the best. Because sometimes when you're playing these practice holes, it's hard to get these holes. So you may be practicing and only see the hole one time. So if you go into that hole with some thoughts and ideas in your head, it's definitely going to be a lot better than going into the hole and having no idea what you're going to do and just winging it from there. Because you may not get a second chance to practice that hole. It's never for sure thing. All right, y'all, thank you very much for being here. Check us out on Facebook, Golf Clash the 19th Hole, and you'll have a good day. God bless.